What up, YouTube? It's your boy Jermaine back with another video. This video is going to be a little bit different. Now, I don't usually make videos like this, but yesterday I made a live stream video based off of some comments from the video before that one. And from the live stream video, oh my gosh, some of the comments were just like, ridiculous. So I found like literally the worst comment, and I thought that I would, we would just go over this comment and we would talk about what this person said. Believe it or not, a lot of things that this young lady said is actually true. I'm not really gonna like bash her too bad because a lot of things she said was 100% true, but I thought that I would just make a video and talk about this and just go into depth and just talk about some of the things that this I don't know if this was a subscriber, but this person left on YouTube. One thing about YouTube is really easy for anybody to make an account, say whatever you want to say, and someone like me, I really can't do anything about it. Like if I click on her account, like it's not gonna show me really any information about her. So basically anyone can make a YouTube account and go bash any YouTubers, and you can do this for fun. So let's just read her comment really fast, because I was balling, yo. I was like, really? Like, okay, you spent this much time on this comment, so here we go right here. The comment, guys.
Jermaine, are you retarded? How can you say nobody reads books? I read at least 2 books a week. You don't get all the books you like and want to read just online. You got to go buy the books or buy it online by typing in the title. Sitting peacefully in a quiet setting with a glass of wine and reading a book, or even reading a book at bedtime, is more beneficial and personal than some audio online bullshit. I live in Manhattan, New York. There's a lot of bookstores, even ones with cafes. This generation barely can read and write because you guys rely your whole life on computers. It's a lot more illiterate PPL today than 10, 15 years ago. You travel around the world, but you still don't know anything about these PPL's culture. You can speak multiple languages fluently. You don't spend money to visit different places in these countries to learn their culture. You don't and can't even tell us the different types of foods these PPL make in the countries you go to. You just travel like a vagabond and homeless person. A man is not a man if he doesn't have his own keys to a place he can call his home. SMDH. You make no sense. Do you get an SSI check every month for mental illness? Something is off with you.
I thought that was hilarious. Okay, so first off, if you're from outside the U.S. and you don't know what an SSI check is, it's a check that you receive from the government every month. A lot of people call it a crazy check. That's sort of the street name, but it's basically a check that you get from the government. No, I do not receive an SSI check every month. No. I thought this comment was funny because, believe it or not, there's a lot of truth in this comment here. So first off, how this young lady, her last name is Diamond. I cannot pronounce her first name. It looks to be pretty ghetto, if you ask me. I did say that. Miss Diamond is from Manhattan, so let's not call her Miss Diamond. Let's just call her Miss Manhattan, right? I wonder what part of Manhattan she's from, because Manhattan is a very big place. So, she's talking about how a lot of people don't read books. Now, this is very true. Myself, personally, I don't read books. When I said that in the live stream, a lot of people were commenting that, I love to read and you should read. A lot of people were saying that, like, they read, and basically they're encouraging that I should read. And honestly, I really should. Like, I really should. Miss Diamond, Miss Manhattan, she's totally correct about this. Reading a book and having a glass of wine is very relaxing. This is something that I really don't find a problem with doing, but it's just something that it's just something, honestly, I just don't do. There's nothing wrong with reading a book, having a glass of wine. Reading is actually really good. Reading is very relaxing. You can learn a language by reading. Like, reading's not bad, okay? Now, also in my live stream, I did say that in the U.S. they're closing down bookstores. Now, what I meant by that in my live stream, because she was talking about how, in Manhattan there's tons of bookstores and bookstores with coffee shops. I was talking about San Francisco. In San Francisco, there is no large bookstore. There's no Barnes and Nobles anymore. All of those places are closed in San Francisco. Everyone goes to Amazon, buys books off of Amazon, or they just use the Amazon Kindle, or people just download books and read them on an iPad. This is what a lot of people do. Now, I understand that your true book readers will disagree with reading a book from a Kindle, and your true book readers will disagree with reading a book from an iPad. But for someone who is traveling and, you're just taking one backpack, I mean, putting 4 or 5 books in a backpack is going to take up a lot of space. So you kind of have to maximize what you're doing. Once again, I'm not a big reader, but I definitely think I will be reading more in the future. A lot of you guys have influenced me to like read more books. So well, why not? Maybe I'll read a book and tell you guys about it, and maybe do a YouTube video talking about it. I'm actually in the process of writing a book right now, if you guys can believe that. Believe it or not, I'm writing a book. That just sounds insane because I am super dyslexic. If you guys don't know what dyslexic is, just like Google it. You'll find a video what dyslexia is. Some people say dyslexia people are idiots. I would say dyslexic people are some of the smartest people on earth. Anyway, let's keep going down to what Miss Manhattan had to say. Okay, there's lots of bookstores, even in cafes. Great. Your generation can barely read or write because you guys rely on computers your whole life. Okay, I can see a lot of truth to that. A lot of people definitely rely on computers their whole life, but when you grow up with computers in your life your whole life, how would you not rely on them? Someone who is 13 years old today has far more computers in their life versus someone who is 40 years old today. I mean, you know, times change. Some people still write checks in 2019. Some people use credit cards in 2019. Some people use Apple Pay in 2019. So times change, you know. Maybe some people read a paperback book. Maybe some people read a book from Kindle. A lot of people nowadays text message a whole lot more than they write love letters and mail love letters through the mail. Back in the day, people used to write letters and send them across country, okay? Nowadays, people don't do that. This is why every time you go to the post office, they constantly raise the price of stamps because people don't send letters like they used to. Technology and time has changed. People don't read and write like they used to because times have changed. This is something that is totally, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I just live in this world. I don't create the rules. I mean, I'm not a civil rights leader. I'm not going to go out and make everyone read and write if they don't want to read and write because everyone uses a phone for everything. It's totally not my fault, but I totally understand where you're coming from. Yeah, we are living in a new generation. Okay, so we continue to go down, and oh yeah, so this is where it starts to get juicy. You travel around the world, but you still don't know anything about these people's culture. Huh. Okay. This is very true. I do travel around a lot. Now, there is a little truth to this sentence. In Australia, I definitely have not invested that much time into the culture. Most people that travel to Australia realize that there's just not that much culture in Australia. I'm not trying to talk about Australia. If you're Australian, please don't get offended. But what I mean by culture, this feels like an American city. Just bottom line, like it feels like an American city. When I'm in Europe, it does not feel like an American city. When I'm in places like London or Paris or even South Africa, it has a completely different feel. This feels like I am sitting in California. So yes, on this trip for the country of Australia, this is true. I'm not really getting into the culture, but for the most part, the culture is British culture. Everywhere you go, there's things named after queens and princesses, and yeah, it's basically British culture. And if you want to get mad at me because I'm not in Australia getting deep down in the culture, get mad at me. You totally have that right. A lot of other countries that I go to, I get really deep into the culture. It really depends on the country. Singapore is a country that I was not that much into the culture. Thailand, Indonesia, Israel, I was really deep into the culture. Once again, this is my life and this is my experience I'm sharing with you guys. Some places I like a lot more than other places. Australia, honestly, I'm just not really feeling it, okay? And I came here to make videos, and yeah, I'm just not really feeling it. That's totally fine. Australia is a country that I would actually live in, okay? And I did call it a boring country in other videos, but this is a country I would actually live in. If I had to pick a country, Australia would be very high on the list, just because it is very similar to the country that I come from. Lots of things are very similar. Okay, we continue to go down here. And, okay. You know, this young lady she kind of seems like she's getting upset. You can't speak multiple languages fluently. This is very true. Whoever this is online, I really wish that I really wish that she would respond to my comment. You know, she says don't speak multiple languages. The reason why I don't speak multiple languages is I'm trying to travel to 100 countries. I don't know if a lot of people are very aware of this. But when you're trying to travel to 100 countries, there are languages you can learn. French and Spanish will probably be two of the most important languages. But I'm trying to think of the last time I was in a country that spoke French, and I'm trying to think of the last time I was in a country that spoke Spanish. So for me to go out and invest the time to learn French and learn Spanish won't really benefit me as much as just not worrying about learning a language. As of now, I'm in Australia. The official language is English. The last country that I was in Switzerland. I'm not going to learn Swiss. You can only use Swiss in Switzerland. I was in Slovakia last. I'm not going to learn Slovak because you can only use Slovak in Slovakia. I was in Germany last month. I'm not going to learn German because I can only use German in Germany. I think you guys get where I'm going here. Now, I don't think a lot of you guys are unintelligent like this person that left this comment. If my plan was to just pick a country and just leave the US, I would probably pick a country, and if that country had a different language, I would probably invest the time in learning that different language. But for me, I don't see the reason of going through all of the hassle and the work of learning a different language when I won't be in that country for longer than a month. Okay. Another thing that this young lady said, you don't spend money to visit different places in these countries to learn their culture. Now this is totally BS. Certain countries I do, certain countries I don't. Once again, Australia is one of those countries that I'm just not really feeling it. I actually have plans to travel back to Australia later this year, a different part of Australia, but just arriving to this country, I just haven't really, I don't know. I have been traveling around Australia, but definitely not like I've been traveling around other countries in Europe. I'll let her win on that one because I've only went to 4 cities in Australia. Yeah, 4 cities. Maybe that's not enough for her. Maybe that's not enough for you, the viewer. But for me, I think that's totally cool. Every trip that I take is a completely different trip. This trip, the plan was to create electric skateboarding videos. The plan was not to go to every single city in Australia. The plan was not to go out into the middle of Australia and camp with snakes and, you know, get chased by kangaroos. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan. When a lot of people watch my videos, they say, oh, you're going to Australia, you have to do this, and you have to do that, and you have to do this, and you have to no, that wasn't the plan. The plan was to make electric skateboarding videos, and I didn't really succeed at that plan. Honestly, I didn't. You know, I was in Sydney, and I met up with a few skaters, and I was in Melbourne, didn't really run into any skaters, so yeah, okay, this one was totally my fault. This comment here that I don't, you know, learn the culture, and I don't spend money to travel around. This is complete BS. If you look at some of my other vlogs, like South Africa, I was all around the country, okay? If you look at Israel, I was all around the country. If you look at the UK, like I've traveled all throughout the UK. It takes money to travel around countries, okay? Like I do travel around countries. Once again, Australia, the plan wasn't to go to every single place in Australia. The plan was to make electric skateboarding videos. Let's keep going down to see what Miss Manhattan has to say. You don't and can't even tell us the different types of food. You know, I really can't tell you the different types of food in Australia because once again, Australia has a lot of British culture. Okay, when I go look for Australian food, you know what food I find? I find American food. I find Subway. I find not Burger King, but I find Hungry Jack's. There was like a Mexican restaurant down here, but guess what? It wasn't Mexican food. It was American Mexican food. So what's the culture here? Like honestly, it's Australia. I can't really tell you the culture, but other countries, I can just name food. I mean, gosh, England, it's fish and chips. Paris, it's it's baguettes and freaking French bread. At Morocco, it's freaking bread with tarjane. South Africa, it's lots of meat. Israel, it's hummus with lots of falafels. Like I know foods, okay? Australia is just one of those countries that I kind of got stuck on. So once again, Miss Manhattan, I'll let you have this one too. Let's keep going down because it's like the farther down it goes, the better it gets, okay? You travel like a vagabond and a homeless person. I love this one. I love this one because, guys, I'll share something with you. The last time I was back home, I was hanging out with a friend from my hometown. This guy is very, very successful. Okay, he makes well over $200,000 a year. He drives I think like a $90,000 Range Rover. And he wears a lot of gold rings, wears a lot of gold chains. Homeboy goes to the jewelry store like once a month and spends couple $1,000s every month in the jewelry store. He has a mad collection of bling bling. And you know, honestly, I really like bling bling, and I would love to have some bling bling too. But when my homie found out that I travel and I stay in hostels and I backpack, he literally made fun of me. He literally laughed at me. He laughed at my face because he's like, look, dude, you are poor. You don't have a place to stay. You live in San Francisco and you live out of a backpack. You wear the same clothes all the time. You're poor. You got it all wrong. When I travel, I always stay in fancy hotels. When I get on an airplane, I always sit in first class. Blah, blah, blah. He was just going on and on and on. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And for most people, especially most people in the US, they would look up to my friend more than they would look up to me. Totally get it, because that's the life that everyone wants to live. But check this out. How many people actually live that life? Very few. My homie does not have a passport. My homie takes extravagant trips to Miami. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of truth to that. I guess I don't travel like a ultra rich traveler. I guess I'm not staying in 5-star resorts, but check this out. I definitely travel a whole lot more than most people. Yeah, I guess you can say I'm homeless. Yeah, why not? I'll let you have that one. A lot of people sort of hate on that because I get it. Maybe you live in a place where you are on rent control and you're paying X amount of money every month for rent. And then you cut YouTube on and you see someone like me who basically don't pay rent. I travel all the time. Hey, what's going on? And some people like watching me. I guess they're amazed that I'm talking to a camera. But you cut me on YouTube, I'm doing something crazy, something fun, something spontaneous. So a lot of people bash me a lot and just say I'm homeless, because that's really one thing that you can really say about me that is somewhat true. But by me not paying rent in one place, by me not owning a place and being there all the time, it allows me to travel as much as I want. And for some people, that creates a lot of jealousy. Like a lot of my friends back home, they kind of envy me just because of the way I travel, the way I can go somewhere with one backpack and I'm not afraid to go to multiple places. There's a lot of people that are afraid to leave their neighborhood. Like, they're never going to leave their city. They're never going to leave their state. They don't even want to leave their neighborhood. And for me, oh my gosh, the first thing I wanted to do when I got of age was to leave my neighborhood, was to leave my city, was to leave my state. The only thing I wanted to do was to travel. And traveling is very intimidating for a lot of people, and I'm not gonna let that stop me. So yeah, you're right, maybe I am homeless. Oh, but this is probably my favorite one. A man is not a man if he does not have his own keys and a place to call home. You know what? I'll let you stab me with that one, because I will. I'll just take that blow, because, you know, maybe I'm not a man because I don't have my own place. But maybe you're the type of woman, maybe you're just a gold digger. Maybe you're just looking for a dude with a job, with a car, with a place. Well, you know, that's definitely not me. And I'm definitely not looking for someone like you, for sure. Y'all know me. I like hippie girls. I like girls with hairy legs. And a lot of people will say, oh yeah, you only date white girls, right? You can say that too. Like, I really like this video. I really like this, because basically I'm just letting a subscriber, I'm letting someone comment, I'm letting them talk bad about me, and I'm making a video out of it to entertain all of you guys. And she invested all this time to write this comment, so the least thing I can do is to make a video talking about it, because like I say, I'm in Australia and I find it very difficult to make videos. Like right now it's raining. I can't go out and make a skateboard video when it's raining, and I really haven't met any other skaters in this little town to make videos with. But you know, I just thought I would entertain this comment. I thought this was a pretty good comment. I mean, there's some truth to this comment. There's also some things that I thought that we could talk about. Yeah, so this is why I made this video. So if you're new to my channel, definitely hit that like button, subscribe. Not all of my videos are this way. I definitely got some other things planned up very, very soon. Australia, the clock is ticking. But as of now, I'm still having a good time. Like, it's not the worst trip in the world. But the other day, I did get chased by a freaking snake. Well, not really chased by a snake, but I saw this huge freaking snake. And, yo, I don't think I want to be hiking around here anymore. Nope, no more hiking. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this video up. Thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully this rain dies down, because I really want to go down to the beach and see the sunset just one more time. But if I don't see it tonight, I guess I'll see it tomorrow. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, yo. Hey, light that comment box up, yo. I need some more videos to make. I need some more content to make. Peace out.